Hi guys, so welcome on this new video. So basically last time I was playing with the Google Atheris Python fuzzer, and actually some of you asked me to discuss a bit more about differential fuzzing and what's the difference and how you can use that and what's the purpose of it. So basically I decided to just create a video on this subject. So we're gonna use differential fuzzing in order to find logic bugs, and today we're gonna target this package validators and one specific function inside this package, and we're gonna target as well email validator. So that's the two targets of today, and we're going to use the Google Atheris fuzzer to help us in the journey. So basically, this course, this video will be part of these free courses on my website. So check the link on the description if you're interested. Basically, it's a multiple series of video to play and to learn more about fuzzing, basically. And today the main subject is differential fuzzing. So differential fuzzing is basically the idea of you're gonna provide an input to a function, you're gonna get a result, you're gonna provide the exact same data to another function, maybe in the same package or maybe in another package that is expecting to do the same operation on it. So basically in our example, we're gonna target the email validator function of each package. So the purpose is we're gonna provide an email address, valid or not, and we're gonna compare the result. Basically we're gonna compare if it's if the same data is considered as valid for both packages, or is it considered as invalid for both packages. If there is a difference, differential fuzzing. So if there is a difference, like one reject the email and the other one accept the email, in that case we're gonna trigger an exception, and we want to see this data, because that means we have a logic bug. We have something. I mean, one of the packages that we are currently targeting are wrong. Either this email is valid or either it's invalid, but it can be both at the same time. So that's the purpose of this fuzzing technique. That's a fuzzing technique that I'm using for quite some time now. I really like it. I'm using that on a bunch of stuff. Basically the main project where I'm using differential fuzzing is I'm developing a Beacon Fuzz, the Beacon Fuzz project, that is basically a differential fuzzer for the Ethereum 2.0 implementation. So that's basically one of the usage you can use. You can also think of Guido Van Kren, that is using differential fuzzing for the crypto Fuzz project, if I remember. Basically a differential fuzzer on all the different cryptographic implementation of multiple algorithms. So basically the main idea is in the same way to detect some logic bugs and some inconsistency between the results. So let's start. As usual, you will get, if you enter in the free courses, you will get access to all the example and all the stuff as usual. So basically I create a cheat sheet for you. So first of all, you need to install Atheris, the fuzzers that we're gonna use. You're gonna install a validator, so that's one of the package. That's a generic package that will validate a bunch of stuff, but in all cases we're gonna ask to validate an email address. We have the email validator, that is a specific Python package to validate email addresses, and that's pretty much all. So in terms of installation, we just have that. Then we're going to create some differential fuzzer, and that's what is just there. So I'm gonna be quick. If you want more information about how to write a differential, a fuzzer with Atheris, take a look at my previous video. I was basically going through the process. It's pretty easy and pretty straightforward. So basically that's the setup of the Atheris fuzzer. We are specifying that the function that will be tested is this one, the test one input, and we are running the fuzzer. inside this one, basically nothing really fancy. We are taking the inputs. We are telling to Atheris that we want to have a data provider. That means we would like to have some manipulation of the data that will be done. Basically, in that case, I'm asking to get only a string, and I'm asking to get a string of size 25 at the maximum. I can modify that. I can use consume Unicode, and I will get a Unicode string, and so on. You have a bunch of stuff that are available. So just take a look at the Google Atheris project, basically. So then I'm gonna call my first module, one of the first module. So in that case, it's the validators module with the email method. I'm providing the email, so that's the data that have been generated, and I'm giving that to the validator email. Right there, I will get an object. Basically, you just need to take a look at the documentation. So validators is this one, and you can see that we have emails, and basically if we are going that, we will get a true or false. So either true, either a validation failure, and we will get the why it is rejected, and so on. So basically we just need to compare between true or false, and it will work perfectly in our cases. So that's what we're gonna do later. The main reason we're gonna check for the value of this one after is because we're gonna do a try except, and it's because of the validate email function. So this function is defined right there, email validator, and basically if the email is invalid, you will trigger an exception, email not valid error exception. So basically what we are doing right there is we are doing the try except. So if the try, if this stuff is valid and not triggering any exception, that means that's a valid email address for this package. So that's good, and in that case we can verify the first hypothesis, the first differential cases, and basically these cases is where this one tell us that the email is valid because everything goes well and there is no exception that is triggered, basically. So this email is valid, and this one we don't know. So we're gonna test for this one. We're gonna verify if this one tell me it's false. That means this validator package is not happy with the email I provide, meaning that there is a difference between the result. This one tell me it's true, and this one tell me it's false. So there is an issue. So in that case, we are printing the email, the different result, and we are triggering an exception, validate email true, validator email false. In the other cases, we are triggering an exception, meaning that validate email considers that it's an incorrect email address, but we are going to verify that this one is also rejecting the package on the email or not. If valid2 is true, that means this one considers that the email is correct. This one, the validate email consider it's false, so we have an issue, and in that case we are raising an exception. So as you can see, it's really basic. I mean, in terms of logic, it's not really complicated. We are giving data to one function, we have a result. We are giving data to another function, we have a result, and we are just comparing the result together, and it needs to be the same result, basically. So true or false, to make it simple. So that's pretty much all, and we are able then to run this fuzzer. So to run the fuzzer, nothing really complicated, so let me just remove a bit of that. Basically, let me zoom in, it will be a bit simpler for you, I think. Zoom in. Okay, so basically right there I have multiple stuff. You can see that I have some crashes, but let's just forget that for the moment. So basically we have, let me remove this test.py. Okay, perfect. So we're gonna do Python 3. Then we're gonna call the differential fuzzer. So that's the diff fuzzing email. Okay, and then we can provide a folder. So basically I already create a folder right there, email input. That's basically, the fuzzer will generate automatically some corpora, some over the time it will reach some coverage and keep those data, those new input that will reach some new coverage inside the specific folder. So let's create a new one, email 2, basically. So this stuff doesn't exist yet. Okay, so as you can see, it's running. There is some stuff that is happening. We have some coverage, and then he discovers some new code, and so on and so on. Okay, you can see that it's crashing pretty easily. That's because there is actually one bug. I mean, we found one valid bug, and there is some others, of course, but basically we succeed. So let me just show you, if I'm removing these cases, it will be more complicated for us to find some bug. Pass. Okay, so as you can see, the fuzzer is running, there is some new coverage, it's evolving, and so on and so on. So basically, over the time, we will get new corpora, new coverage, we will reach more code base, and at some point we will maybe trigger some bugs. So let's come back to the cases where we actually find a bug, and that's because there is an issue. There is actually a logic bug in that case. And the logic bug happened in these cases. Basically, validate email told us that the email is incorrect, and the validators package told us that actually it's a valid email address. So there is an issue, there is a difference between the results, so we want to take a look at what is happening. So let me launch that again, it will crash directly actually. So as you can see, the email address seems to be this one. So one consider that as true, and the other one consider that as false. So congrats, you found a bug. I actually find the same issue, the same difference for other values. So you can just basically do diff fuzzer email, and you will see on the folder that I'm providing, we have the diff bug email. So that's another data. You can see that the string is actually this one. So is this stuff a valid email address or is it not? It's up to you to decide, to take a look, to maybe compare to other validator, take a look at the RFC of how we are supposed to create an email address and so on. But you can see that differential fuzzing is a really efficient way to find some logic bugs, and I mean it was not so complicated to make in place and to create, so that's why it's really powerful. Also, if you let the fuzzer run for quite some time, you will maybe trigger another exception. Let me show you. It's basically an issue inside one of the target Unicode encode error. So that's, yeah, let me just write that properly. Okay, so as you can see, for this specific input, we are triggering a Unicode encode error. UTF-8 codec can encode this character. So it seems that actually this package, the email validator package, does not really appreciate the specific input that we are providing. So let's print the stuff like that. We will be able to see that. Print email. Okay. You can see that. Oh, okay. Even my print email will not be happy with that. Okay, let's just print the bytes, and it will be fine. So you can see that this stuff, if you put that as a string, will not be like a valid email address, and actually this stuff is triggering an exception directly inside one of the package we are currently playing with, in that case email validator. So it looks like it is at this specific line. So basically, email validator at some point try to do ret email encode UTF-8, and this encode UTF-8 function is triggering an exception. This exception is not catched properly inside the email validator code, leading to a panic, leading to an exception. So we successfully find a bug only inside this specific package, this email validator. So that's pretty nice. We, in like, I don't know, like 15 minutes, we successfully find one differential bug plus one bug inside the email validator package. Okay. So yeah, as I mentioned, you have everything directly on the cheat sheet, or everything to replay the bugs and so on. If you want to contact me, don't hesitate to let a comment below, and let me know what you would like to see next. And if you want to get access to all the stuff I've shown you, it's basically right there or directly on my YouTube channel for some of it.